back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this ruched. Someone sent me a video, a picture in my DM on Instagram. So, and the person wants me to explain this ruched skirt. So basically how you do this here is just like simple. So you're going to fold your fabric into two, and then you're going to put in your waist measurement. So let's say this is what you're using. You're going to fold the fabric into two and make sure that you have your hip measurement divided by 4. That is the width of the fabric. And then you're going to go ahead and insert, let's say this is the top part here. You're going to go ahead, this is the waist part. You're going to go ahead, insert your hip measurement divided by 4. Depending on the type of fabric you're working with, if it stretches on the type of fabric you're working with, so it's left for you to determine how you want it to be. So divide your hip measurement by 4, and then you're going to add 1 inch of seam allowance to it, and then you're going to come down from there about 7 or 8 inches, and then put in your hip measurement divided by 4. So somewhere here, let's say somewhere here, you're going to insert your hip measurement divided by 4. Here you insert your waist measurement divided by 4, and then add your seam allowance. After your seam allowance, you can also add extra inches if you're trying to make this particular. So guys, this one here, if you look at it, you will see that it's like an A line, and then the bottom part has more ruching than the top part. Is because this is cut like an A. You can't cut this as a pencil skirt. I already have a video on my channel on how to cut an A line skirt, and like the difference between A line straight skirt and a pencil skirt. I already have that video. So just cut this like an A-line skirt, and then you're going to ruch the two parts. Because if you look at it, the bottom, at the opening of the skirt, like the bottom part, you find that the ruching there drapes more. It drapes more than going up to the waist. As you're going up to the waist, it narrows going up, but at the bottom part it ruches more because it's cut like an A line and the top part is narrow. So that's basically how you cut this one, and then after that you just take your elastic and run it through the two sides of the skirt. That's how you're going to get the ruching and the draping. Whatever you cut out that is going to be the body of this fabric you're working with, like let's say this here is going to be the skirt I'm trying to make. So this is it here, and this is the waist part. So I'm going to try and sew in the waist part here. So you see your waist is going to go up and curve in here. So I'm going to try to put in the waist here, and then I'm going to try, you see the elastic you're going to use here. So basically you're going to make the skirt longer than what you need it to be. So let's say you want it to be half like mid-thigh, short and mid-thigh, then you might want to make it long as like knee length or longer than just below your knee, so that when you ruch it up it drapes more. It depends on you. So let's say this is the length of the skirt. Now what you're going to do is the length of the body here is going to be, let's say, like I said, below your knee or wherever, but your elastic, you're just going to take your elastic is going to be the length you want it to be after you've ruched it, right? So let's say I want my ruch to be knee length and my skirt is like full length, right? I'm going to take my elastic and measure from my waist to my knee. You're not going to take your elastic cannot be the same length as your skirt, right? Let's say this is the length of the skirt I'm working with. I'm going to measure on my body, and let's say this is going to be the amount of elastic I'm going to need, somewhere to this point to this point. So every other thing is going to be ruched in. So once you're done, let's say you use 1 inch of seam allowance, you're going to trim it off and leave about half an inch of seam allowance, and then you're going to take your elastic and then you're going to place it here, and then you're going to ruch it down. So let's say this is the elastic size I'm going to be using here. This is too short, but like let's say half of this here, 1 on each side. So I'm going to split this here and use 1 on each side. So guys, you see I'm reducing the seam allowance, I'm chipping off some of it here. So you see this is what I have here. So what I'm going to do now is, this is the elastic. I'm going to take one elastic that you're using, and then you're going to take it this way and then place it on this seam allowance. So you see, like I said, reduce your seam allowance so that you will not have a lot of bulk on inside of your cloth. And then you're going to take it here, place it this way, and then you're going to, let's say you pin down the end here, so that when you're done you ruch this side, right? You see, hold this part down and then you hold this part down, so that you know that everything in between is going to fit into this elastic. So now I'm just going to place this here on my sewing machine and start to sew it down. So guys, you're going to first start with about, just try to sew it down, just to hold it. You're going to try to sew it down, and then after that you're going to start sewing it. So you now start pulling the elastic down. So you see what I'm doing here? I'm just going to pull this elastic and sew right on top of this elastic. So you see, my seam is right on the elastic, and then I'm going down. So you see, I'm going down all the way to the end. And just like so, guys, you see what I was saying. So now I'm also going to ruche this side too. So I'm going to pull this side and ruche it together. There are two methods to doing this. If you want, you can just go ahead when your two sides are still open, you ruche one side with using that seam allowance, and then you ruche the other side too, and then join your fabric together, if that makes sense. So let's say this is the two opening of the end of the side of your fabric, right? You go ahead and then ruche one side, like pull the elastic, sew it on one side, and then pull the elastic, sew it on the other side, and then you join it together and make a stitch at the center. So guys, if you do that, then you're going to have elastic on the two sides. So you're going to have one here and one on the other side. But you see, with this method I told you guys, the elastic is only on one side, and you see the other side doesn't have anything. At this point here, I'm also going to take this elastic now and ruche the other side too. So like this fabric is stiff, so it won't drape like that. But if you're working with this type of, I think the fabric the person sent on the picture looks like sequins. I don't know the type of fabric that is. But if you're working with that type of fabric, then it's going to drape at the center. But you know, this is a Ankara fabric and it has some starch to it, so it doesn't drape, like give you that kind of draping at the center. But you get the method I'm trying to explain here. So I'm also going to try to do this on the other side here. What it looks like. I tried to make one side used a smaller elastic just to show you guys what it looks like. So you can use a ruching that is more together, like make it a tight ruching, or you can use a loose one like I used on the other side. So you see what this looks like at the moment. So if I open it up, it looks something like this. So like I said before, this fabric is Ankara fabric, and it has some starch to it. But if you see, if this was like a very like that fabric with weight, it would have looked just exactly like the one on the picture with that draping at the center. So all you have to do now at this point is to go ahead and attach your band to the waist. And then once you attach your band to the waist, so you take the, so after that you go ahead and fix in the band to the waist of the skirt. So this is what it's going to look like. You see the two sides, so you see the draping at the center, and then you fold the end of your skirt. So then we move over. I want to also use this opportunity to show you guys, if you do it on a dress, I'm sure you guys must have seen that type of dress, and you can also do two sides of the dress like a bodycon dress, and then you can also go ahead and put in one ruching at the center and then also at the back. So you can do four sides, one on this side, one on this side, one in the center, and then one at the center back. So it will look like that, this particular dress on the picture now. So guys, I'm sure everyone must have seen that bodycon dress. So this is how you do it. So you see, just make sure to mark a straight line at the center of the body here, and then you put this elastic this way. You see what it looks like. So you see, I first drew my line before putting, so that I can make sure I can follow that line all the way to the end. So at this point here, you can also go ahead and put in the elastic on the side, just like you did for the skirt. Just take your elastic and then pull it down this way on the seam on the side, and then do it on the same on this side, do it at the center back. Basically what I'm trying to say is that your elastic, so the length here you're working with, like the length of the body of the dress, whatever length you decide to use depends on you, right? Because it depends on how much ruching you want it to be. So let's say if I want my dress after ruching to be knee length, I might go ahead and make my dress, when cutting it, I want it after ruching this way to be on my knee. I might go ahead and cut a dress that is up to my mid knee, like midi dress, when straightened out this way, and then ruche it up to my knee. It depends on you, is what I'm trying to say. But the elastic that you're going to use is going to be the exact length of where you want it to be when you're done. So let's say let me say it again. So let's say I want the dress itself to be on my knee when I'm done. My elastic is going to be from my shoulder to my knee. right? My elastic is going to be from my shoulder to my knee, except it's going on the side. Then it's going to be from my underarm to my knee that I'm going to measure the elastic. So I'm going to take the elastic and measure right from my underarm, because it can't be from my shoulder, because my elastic is not going to up to my shoulder. And then the one at the center can't also be from my shoulder, because let's say this is your shoulder, it will be from the neckline down to the knee, or wherever I want it to stop. The one on the side is going to be right under my armpit to the knee, where I want the elastic to stop. So basically, your elastic is going to be the length of what you want your ruching to be when you're done. But your dress can go further than that, so that when you pull it up, it goes up. So that's basically how you do it. This same method, you can go ahead, put elastic at the two sides of your skirt, of your dress. That's basically how you do this. So I'm going to turn it around so you guys see what it looks like in front. So guys, you see what I'm saying here. So you see the ruching in front, you see what it looks like. So once you wear it and it's a bodycon dress, you can just pull it down this way and just straighten it. Like once you're wearing it, you see what this looks like, and is giving you this at the center. You can do it also at the back, do it on the side. So that's basically it here. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll still get back to all the videos, all the pictures people send me on my Instagram, but I'm just going to be doing it in an illustration and explaining. I'm just going to take a piece of fabric, explain it, and show you guys an illustration of that, because if I start to sew it on a bigger fabric, I can't wear everything that I make. So that's why I prefer to show you guys on a small scale and just try to explain it the best I can. So I'll just get back to everybody, but right now I'm just going to take it one after the other. So thank you guys so much for watching once again, and please like, share, and subscribe. Bye.